I think I just lost it. All right, greetings everybody. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you so much for joining us. As we always do, before we get started, make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. Again, make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. While you're there, buy some merchandise, buy some books. Shout out to brother Brandon. Pan-Africanism Strikes Back for the support and buying the series, all four of the children's books. Son Loves Me, Kiki Harris, Quinley Hair, Kiki Harris, Quinley Hair, and Amina's Third Eye, all four. And I got a new book coming out Sunday. All right. The new one's coming out, dropping Sunday, everybody. So shout out to Brandon for the support. Also, while you're at dynastymirror.com, make sure you join the email list so you guys can stay up to date in regards to what's going on with the brand. Like, share, and subscribe to the content. Again, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the content. And then become a monthly Patreon, everyone. Again, become a monthly Patreon. You can see the link scrolling the bottom, the ticker, patreon.com, search for Huru. Again, patreon.com, search for Huru. I know I need to get out some of my Patreon gifts or perks. I know I need to send them out. So I'm going to be on Patreon sending out a message asking who has not received their perks. Without further ado, I have my brother Brandon on. Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. Brother Brandon, introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, what's up? My name is Brandon. I have a YouTube channel called Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. I also have another YouTube channel called Necessary Roughness. I'm just here with my brother trying to build, definitely on a mode where I'm tired of talking. So I'm more about the progress, taking action, telling people not only what they should do, but how to do it, helping people get to that point of like accomplishing goals. Dynas is a brother who's of the same mindset as me. So I always have to build with him whenever the opportunity presents itself. So we're building together and we're building with you, but we are focused on building, not just listening, hearing, and being absent-minded, going out into the world and forgetting everything we learned. So get your pen and paper, your notepad, whatever. Get ready to take some notes. Get ready to take some mental notes so we can all get out here and go execute. So we can get off our ass and cold call, like that book says right there.
dynastymirror.com. Go grab the book, everybody. All right, Brandon. So real quick, man. So today's topic is how to stop stalling in pursuit of your African dream. So I'm going to give you some of the stalling tactics that I hear that keeps people from going to Africa. Let's see here. I know one is I'll go when I retire. When I retire, that's when I'll go. Like address that. So for the team, I'm gonna wait for retirement. How would you respond to it?
Well, that just shows that a person is not serious. Like, you're not gonna wait till you retire to go to the white man's job. You're gonna go there every day trying to see what he's gonna give you because you feel like there's value in that. If you told somebody to go pick up a check, they're not gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna wait until I retire to go get that." That's because they see the value of that piece of paper, right? When it comes to these people talking about I'm gonna retire, that's just their way of, like, to coin a term Holla created, Negro stalling tactics. It's just an excuse to not do it now, but just to keep on putting it off. But sometimes later becomes never, right? There's a saying, sometimes later becomes never. We like to just make those excuses. We don't want to, a lot of us don't believe we actually deserve anything better. So when it comes something that's better, when something better is presented to us, we then try to put it off because we're afraid of any potential disappointment. And like I just was talking to a lady who was calling me earlier, a lot of us are afraid of success. Sometimes we won't do something because it might actually work. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to be successful because success comes along with what? Ability. And a lot of us don't want to be responsible for nothing.
Right. All right, here's another one. Somebody just put in the chat room. I'll wait until I get enough money to go.
What'd you say?
Another one in the chat room. Once I get a certain amount of money, then I'll go.
Oh yeah, of course, because there's this lie, this myth of financial security, and we all know that. We all know that that's a myth. We all know that that doesn't really exist. But that's another Negro stalling tactic. That just gives us wiggle room to like not have to do anything right now. Even a hamster makes no excuse to stay on the wheel. Only human beings do that, right? We know we're in a circular situation where there is no end to it. You're just going through it. So instead of hopping off the hamster wheel, we'll get around to it. Or we'll do it when we get enough money. Well, how much money is enough? Unless you plan on making a couple of million, but you going to a job. Ain't nobody ever made $1 million working for nobody else on no job. Like, seriously, it just doesn't happen. So,
right.
It's just another way of saying I'm never going to do it, pretty much.
Hold on. O'Shea, man. Stop. O'Shea, stop avoiding me, O'Shea. When you coming on the show, O'Shea? What we doing the show? Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Everybody. O'Shea Duke Jackson in the house, everybody. All right, here's another one, Brandon. So we got the stoning tactic. I mean, we got the money saved up. We got the retirement. Here's my favorite. The Chinese are in Africa. The Chinese.
I mean, this is the thing. Well, that's Negro stalling tactic number 3, right? Because if the Chinese are in Africa, that should increase your level of urgency, your sense of urgency to get over there. Because if they handing out butter biscuits, why would you be the one talking about I ain't gonna grab one because everybody else is in line? That's the defeatist mindset. You know what I'm saying? These people they don't believe that they can do it. So they just say, oh, another group of people is over there. White people and Chinese and Mexicans is in America, but that don't make you not want to be here. You over here talking about, I'm going to give me an ADOS check. Oh, I deserve America. Well, you deserve Africa too. But you're going to put off Africa because why? Like I said, they don't see the value. And the majority of us don't believe that we deserve anything better than the position of a whipping boy in America. So we like, wait a minute, if I leave here, what master gonna do? What if he gets sick? What if he get hungry? Who gonna feed him? It's like we have that, child-parent relationship. So we got to make sure that we take care of our parents in case they fall ill. In this case, our parents are the white people, and the Chinese give us another scapegoat because Negroes was saying the same thing 30 years ago before the Chinese even started going into Africa, right? So this is just the next generation of excuses and next generation of excuse makers.
Right. All right, here's another one. Here's a good one. Africans don't own their own economy.
You said what? Oh, Africans don't own their own economy? Yeah, you don't own your own economy either. A lot of people don't understand is part of our job of going to Africa is to bring economy to Africa. Right. So just because they don't control their own economy doesn't mean you can't bring economy to Africa. And you're African, so if you come over there and control a piece of it, that means Africans are controlling it. Also, I'll tell you this. A lot of people make this argument like Africans don't control Africa, right? Well, let me tell you, when the Kenyan president banned flights to China, did the flights still keep on coming in from China? No. When the African president said no flights in or out from nowhere in the world, did the flights keep on coming in? No. I couldn't even get in from America. The white man couldn't get in. Nobody could get in. These Africans have control over their place. We just are upset about the decisions they choose to make when it comes to economics in their country. But they do control the country. We just say they don't have control because they don't do what we would do, right? But when they do what they do, at least they're doing something. What we would do is sit on our butts and do nothing because that's what we are. We're a bunch of lame ducks. Do nothings. Absent-minded hearers. We sit up and get on YouTube and every other platform, listen, talk trash, curse people out, troll, and then we go right back to our job to get sexually harassed by our boss, get smacked on the head by white supremacy every day, go back, oh, yes, sir, boss, buck dancing and cooning, and then go try to call somebody else out for what they not doing because they not doing things the way we would do. We would do it. We don't even know how to do nothing other than make excuses and sit around and play NBA 2K and smoke weed and sew weaves up in our hair. We are the number one proprietors of useless crap, useless information, useless actions, and we sit up and have the audacity to try to call somebody else out over what they are or are not doing. It's the biggest bowl of hypocrisy ever served up, and we live a hypocritical existence.
Here's another one for you. Let me ask you this, Brandon. With everything that's going on, this climate, as far as the riots and protests and all that other stuff going on, I mean, what would I mean? Why aren't with everything going, all this uncertainty that's in the air? Why not? Why aren't people? Why are people still not taking Africa serious?
Because the reality is black people want to stay close up under the nuts of white supremacy. See, no matter how bad it gets here, we're always going to be here because we like a dog at the dinner table. We already done got our ass whooped for trying to climb up on the table, but we going to sit at the feet of the master hoping that some crumbs drop. So we afraid that if we leave, somebody else going to get our butter biscuits that the master had reserved for us. We think that there's butter biscuits in the oven for us. There's none there, but we think that.
Mm-hmm.
So we won't step outside because we think if we leave, soon as we walk out the door, they're going to give it to the Mexicans. The reality is that black people really, really, truly need to just start learning how to mind their own damn business. Be able to discern what's for us and what's not for us, what we should be involved in and what we shouldn't be involved in, and then go along those lines. On my channel, I had a video. It was called "The Wisdom to Know the Difference," and basically, I highlighted the prayer that people do at the little African, the prayer that people do at the little Alcoholics Anonymous class, where they say, "God grant me the serenity to change the things that I can, and to accept the things that I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference." This is what black people lack. We don't have no wisdom. We don't understand that some situations are just not fixable or controllable, or at least we don't have the leverage or the psychological collectiveness to change them. So instead of beating a dead horse, instead of sitting here crying over spilled milk, we need to start making our advancement towards the future. We need to stop believing in the white man's ability to support us and start believing in our ability to support ourselves. That's why we don't want to get away from it. We will do, man, they could beat us, kill us, rape us, and we still gonna be sitting over here talking about America. Yeah, is Africa even safe? Okay, you go ask that dude got shot 7 times in the back, is Africa safe? Because I guarantee you in Africa, that would have never happened. But we gonna sit up here and just keep on taking it on the nose. Our ancestor, Marcus Garvey, said, always remember, ignorance, in this world, ignorance carries the burden. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ignorance carries the burden. We act ignorant collectively. Therefore, we will always carry the burden. It's our blood being spilled in these streets. So as long as we keep on acting ignorant, we keep on operating with cognitive dissonance. You keep on listening to a bunch of people on the internet who ain't got nothing themselves, but they got the answers to everything, supposedly. You're going to be ignorant, and you always going to carry the burden of white supremacy, Asian supremacy, Mexican supremacy, all the other races. You like a cow. They got you strapped up plowing their fields, and everybody trying to throw a rope around your neck to plow theirs. So you keep on being ignorant, you will always be the mule. And all the mule do is get to do the work and get his ass whooped.
Here's another one, Brandon. Do I look African enough?
You damn sure don't look European enough. So yeah, Africans, you go to Africa, man, you'll see people who look like your next door neighbor. You be like, what is he doing out here? Yeah, like every time I go to Africa, I have to do a double take. Like, what? This dude out here? But it usually don't be nobody I know. But it's like, we are African. So as much as we look like how we look, they're African. You got your doppelganger somewhere over in Africa, I promise you. Oh, yeah. So it ain't a matter of looks. Most of the time in Africa, if you don't open up your mouth, they're not going to know you're not from there. You know, and I'm a big dude, so I stand out because most Africans are small. But when I go to places like South Africa and stuff, those people are walking up to me speaking in Zulu because they think I'm Zulu because I'm like a husky dude, like the Zulus are. And I'll say like, oh, I don't understand. I speak English. And then people will be like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I thought you were Zulu, you know. And this is across the board in the bakery, in the restaurant, in the cab. It ain't no like, they're not trying to like scam me. They're really like coming up to me because sometimes they'll just come up to you for something random, like, hey, you stepping on my foot or something like that. And they'll just start talking to you in Zulu. And, you know, but depending on how you look, you know, you're gonna blend in, period. So that's just an excuse again, Dinus. We got a lot of Negro stalling tactics to deal with here. But we ain't really looking for the stallers. We looking for the people who are about adventure, who are about success, who are about chasing their dreams, really realizing their full potential and living life to its fullest, man.
All right. Well, we built this country. We built America. Our bones are buried here. Bones.
Well,
Bones.
you didn't build it by choice. You built it by force, right? The Mexicans built a shopping center up the street from my house, but the white man who paid for it to get built is the one who get credit for it. They get their paychecks and they get to get the hell out of this dude's face after Friday. We built this place. Our bones is buried here. Yeah, but you want me to tell you something about the white man? The white man killed and died to be here. You might have died. A few of us died. I ain't gonna say a lot of us didn't die. Some of us died, but we don't got nothing on the white man. He was willing to do anything it took to take over this land. I mean, this dude came here on Plymouth Rock and then just went across the whole, from sea to shining sea, slaughtering niggas, Indians, and everything in his way, cockroaches, to take over this place. And unless you're willing to do the same, right, then you just need to shut your mouth. And I know most of these Negroes won't bust a grape, period. So stop talking about this is our land. This ain't your land because you ain't willing to kill for it. At least the Indians tried. That's why when black people are like, we Indian. No, you not. Because at least the Indians shot a bow and arrow to try to kill a white man to take the land back. He still got his ass whooped. But niggas won't even throw a rock at the white man. They gonna go in and say, oh, can I make you some Otisa? Can I make you some biscuits? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even now, look at the stuff in Kenosha. The white boy got hit with a skateboard, shot somebody in their chest and killed him. Niggas talking about, why did he have a gun? Why did he have to shoot him? That just shows you black people ain't got no stomach for no real fight. Soon as it escalates to the point of physical altercations, 99% of black people is going to run. And the 1% that's left is either going to be smart, get out of Dodge and get to Africa, or get slaughtered, expecting and thinking that a bunch of absent-minded Negroes is going to support them when we all know the truth. You have no support in America. People like me, you have no support in America. The people on here watching who really about that life have no support in America. So we got to get to where we got a support system. I have more support starting a business in Kenya than I ever got in America. In America, all I got was put down. You ain't going to be able to do that. My own family was putting me down when I was trying to do something that was going to benefit them. So where's the support at? Y'all want to sit up in America thinking y'all got with a fake idea of a support system. It's time to get out of here. It's time to go where the people look at you and they want you to do well. Not stay over here where even the ones who look like you don't even want to see you well. They see you doing something successful and they praying on your downfall. They hoping that something go wrong so they could talk about you.
Guys, hit that like button again. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button and make sure you go to dynastyamir.com. Again, make sure you go to dynastyamir.com. Brandon, so let's shift topics real quick. So there was an NBA boycott, but they're gonna resume. They boycotted for like 20 hours, if even that. I mean, for real, it was a 20-hour boycott. Like what? Like what are your thoughts on that?
They ain't look, them NBA players are not giving up them butter biscuits, man. I really wish LeBron James would shut his ass up because why we going, our people are going through it, right? While you going through it, LeBron James is buying a $39 million mansion in Bel Air. He ain't buying it in Africa. He ain't buying it in nowhere near you. He's trying to get more snugged up under the nuts of white supremacy, bro. What black man in his right mind? People talk about LeBron. He pro-black. No, he not. He barely spent $8 million. He invested $8 million along with government funds into a school in Ohio, but then turns around and spends $39 million on a house. How does he support you? How does he give a damn about you? He don't. These NBA players care about them. These NBA players care about them. LeBron could go start with $5 million, could go start a whole league in Africa, a basketball league, a soccer league.
Brandon, let me stop right there. So back in, I think it was 2011 or 2012 when they had the strike or whatever, or the lockout. Right. LeBron had the opportunity to start a whole league in China and own it, and he said no.
Of course.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of
He wanted Masses butter biscuits. Look, these people are not intelligent. LeBron James didn't even go to college. He spent sorry that LeBron James didn't even go to college. He spent most of his time in, playing basketball. So LeBron James has a group of white handlers. I'm not talking about the guy who's his sports agent. I'm talking about the people who tell him what to do with his money. Those are white people. He's had these handlers since he was in high school, right? That's why he hasn't fallen into a lot of the traps that other black men fall into when they get a lot of money, because they've made it their goal to turn him into the next level version of Michael Jordan, right? This guy's groomed already. He's just like Barack Obama. He groomed to say what he got to say and everything, right? So I know the guy told him to shut up and dribble. I'm going to second that assertion. LeBron should just shut up and dribble. The NBA players, they should just keep on bouncing basketballs, shooting threes, and sleeping with white women, because the amount of money these brothers got collectively, they should never have to play basketball for a white man ever again for the rest of their life. If Ice Cube could start a league, what could LeBron start? What could Shaquille O'Neal start? What could Allen Iverson start? What could all these people start? They don't want to. People sit up and Kobe Bryant died. What the hell did Kobe Bryant ever do for you? All Kobe Bryant did was learn about basketball and took the knowledge he had and said, I'm not going to put this into the inner city. I'm going to coach teams in the white area, out here by where I live, Newport Beach and all that. It's sad that he died and his daughter died with him, but what did he give you? He gave you exactly what you want, nothing in exchange for everything. That's black people. We have become addicted to giving everything in exchange for nothing. So even when you tell a black person, look, man, I got this going on, and this is what you'll get back for giving me this, they look at you like you a fool. Nigga, what you talking about? The minute he said he was going to give me something, I knew I couldn't trust him. People is after these investment group people. He scammed me. No, he didn't. He didn't scam you. You scammed yourself, because the minute he said you was going to get something in return, you didn't believe it was true. So that's our thing. But those NBA players, I don't trust no sports athletes, nothing. Our elder Claude Anderson already taught us about meritorious manumissions, and we got the information, but we refuse to live our lives by it and apply it. So you walking out here in ignorance because you want to be ignorant. At this point, black people are willfully ignorant. We ain't ignorant just because we don't know or the information ain't available to us. We read the information, disregard the information, and think we smarter than the person giving it.
Shout out to Legal Night Owl for the super chat. Damn Dynasty, you got heavy hitters on. Brandon, Lou Major, and College Genesis. Love it. No, thank you, brother, for super chat. And guys, make sure you hit that like button. Again, make sure you hit that like button. But Brandon, it's just the so-called boycott or strike was less than 24 hours. And and the thing is, I made a post yesterday on Facebook saying, like, literally, I predicted this. I made a post yesterday on Facebook saying, why boycott if you're going to still finish the season anyway? And, of course, there was people like, oh, Diners, man, oh, Diners, the players rising up. They finally getting contracts. They rising up. There's a change. It's going to change. And in less than 24 hours.
Did we learn? I'm going to try to make it shorter. People said I'm talking too long. Did we learn anything from... come on. Look, did we learn anything from Colin Kaepernick? Colin Kaepernick did all that buck dancing with his high yellow ass. He did all that buck dancing, and at the end of the day, what did we get? Nothing. What did he get? A Nike contract. This guy got millions of dollars for pretending to care about your problem. We went at odds with the NFL and lost. We going at odds with the NBA and we lost. Every time we take an L, that shows these millionaires, billionaires, these white folks that we really have no heart for battle. We won't even stick to anything. We were supposed to be boycotting H&M. I'll take you by H&M right now. It's niggas lined up to get up in that store right now because they're only letting in 3 people at the time, and 2 of them got to be white. The niggas got to wait 1 at a time and come in, and they out there lined up around the building. Every time you take on one of these stupid movements, that's them testing you. They're giving you a shit test. They're seeing, do you got the heart to sustain any type of movement? And we're proving to them that we don't. We marched for George Floyd all of 2 weeks, and we forgot about that. Now we've shown them that they can turn us on and off with anybody getting hurt or killed. We used to march. We used to think we was out here boycotting because somebody was black getting hurt. Now they got you out here boycotting for the cracker. The white dude shot the other white dude, and you're having the same reaction that you did for the black man getting killed. Now they know they got you. They got you by the brain. We can damn throw a dog off a bridge and these niggas get out in the street as long as we tell them to.
All right.
And so they got you. If you want to live look, successful people learn how to control themselves. That's the number one pursuit of a successful person. Successful people learn how to control themselves. And then they go about the process of controlling themselves every single day until they look back and they spent more time in control of their own life than they spent out of control. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you're over here buying into this crap, that only means you have no control over your life. When you see people like me, Dynas Lou Major on here, College Genesis, we speaking out like for what we believe and what's true and what's right, and we're making moves, that's because we have control of our life. If you don't have control over your life, what we're doing looks foreign to you. What we're doing, it looks foolish to you. But you just step on this side and you're going to see how sweet it really is.
All right. I don't want to leave my family.
I mean, who, for one, define family. Do you mean you don't want to leave your relatives? Because blood just make you a relative. People, in my opinion, choose their family. I have friends who are closer and more like family to me than any relative that I have, right? If your relatives don't support what you're doing, they ain't family. They just people you related to. Why would I sit up and stay up under the butt of white supremacy, stay up under the whip, trying to stick close to a bunch of people who don't even support what I'm doing? Let me tell you something. You want to know if your family is down for you? They don't got to do this, but just give them a test. Call up everybody in your family. Say, hey, I want to go to Africa for 6 months. What I'm going to need from y'all is for each one of y'all to give me $100 every month so I can survive in Africa for 6 months. If they say no, that ain't family. Don't worry about them. And I guarantee you the majority of y'all family going to say no. But I bet you if you call your best friends and be like, yo, I need this, they're going to be like, bro, I got you. Or, bro, I don't know, but I will do my best. Something. So stop using that excuse, man. Black people on the internet every day. Yeah, F my family. When your family don't want to loan you $40, it's F them. But then when it's time to go to Africa, oh, I can't leave my family. Can't leave great grandma who I put in the nursing home. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Okay, let's hear, guys. Hit that like button again. Hit the like button. And also, too, we're going to open up the line. So if you want to hop on and ask a question, send an email to uhuru@searchforhuru.com. The email is in the chat room. uhuru@searchforhuru.com. Send an email and we will get you on. So again, if you want to come on, send me an email and I will send you the link. Again, if you want to come on, send me the email. Email is in the chat room. uhuru@searchforhuru.com. I will send you a link and you can come on and ask your question. Brandon, when did you first go to Africa? What year?
First time in Africa, 2014.
Okay, when you went for the first time in 2014, how were you received? How was that received by your family?
When I went to Africa for the first time, it was like this. My friend from Kenya was like, bro, I'm going to Kenya. You want to come with me? I already had my passport because I had already been to like Saudi Arabia, Europe, different places like that. I was like, Africa? I mean, let's do it. I'm down. So I get on the plane with him. We go to Africa. We go to the airport. I get to the airport. We walk out of Jomo Kenyatta. This dude's whole family is there to pick him up. He says, bro, look, I'm going to go with my family for a couple of days, like a week. Like my uncle is a police officer. He introduced me to his uncle. His uncle say, do you have a place to stay? I said, yeah, I got an Airbnb. He says, okay, I'll give you a ride to your Airbnb. He's the chief for one of the police precincts out there. He said, look, don't worry about it. Go to your Airbnb, have a good time. He said, if you have any problems, call me. I'll send a unit out to look after you or whatever. So I go to South B. I'm in the apartment. First 30 minutes I'm there, the lights go out. All the electricity go off. I'm looking like, what did I do? Why did I come here? this dude then abandoned me pretty much, and I'm just out here by myself. So, the lights and stuff came on eventually, and then I woke up the next day, and I said, man, I ain't gonna sit in this house. So I get on Uber. I'm like, whoa, they got Uber here. Cool. So I get on Uber, call an Uber. I tell a dude, hey, can you take me here? Can you take me there? He takes me a few places. I tell him, let me get his number so I can call him directly so I don't got to pay him through Uber. So it's getting to be nighttime. I call him. I'm like, bro, can you take me to this place over here? He says, you know what? He says, that's a dangerous area. He said, how about we wait till tomorrow? And he was like, that's a dangerous area. If I take you there and drop you off, nobody will come in to pick you up, right? So I said, look, that guy was a trustworthy person because he could have just took my money and just dropped me off like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? So I said, look, that's a person you could trust. He ain't letting the money blind him into just throwing you into a bad situation. So that was my first friend in Kenya. His name is Frederick Omondi. He's my good friend to this day. And now he's going to run for a parliament seat in Kenya. So once I found one person I could trust like that, I was like, man, look, this is going to be my road dog the whole time I'm here. So every day I call him, he come get me. We go buy stuff. I eat, I feed him. He like, man, I want you to meet my family. I go meet his family, whatever. Wife cooked me up a bunch of food. You hungry? You good? I'm eating. She like, you want some more? She just keep on cooking. I mean, Africans, they'll cook the whole time you there, just trying to get you to eat and eat and eat. Right. So I was like, no, I'm good. I'm full. Thank you. Man, this guy was like, man, just stay the night at my house. Don't worry about going back to that apartment alone, whatever. I ended up staying at his house for like 3 days. And then it was like getting close to Christmas. And when it got close to Christmas, he was like, man, we're going to go to church. You want to go to church with us? I said, bet. I went to church with him. We was going home. He's like, my wife's going to cook. I said, don't even worry about that. We're going to do this American style. We're going to go out to eat. So we went to like one of the best restaurants in Nairobi, brought his whole family. We ate, had a good old time. Hey, and Brandon, I mean, that was pretty much the trip.
Brandon, was it called Carnivore? Have you been to Carnivore?
No, we went to Carnivore, but we went to a restaurant at a hotel called the Pan Afrique.
Is Carnivore good?
Hey, Carnivore is fire. Crocodile meat is good. It tastes like chicken steak.
I had crocodile meat before.
It's good.
Yeah. Byron, they got a whole
like with some hot sauce, fire.
But they got all types of exotic meat there, from my understanding.
The food is good.
But I'm gonna go. Whenever I get to Kenya again, I'm gonna go. Whenever I hit East Africa.
Go to Carnivore. Go to the crocodile park because I went and looked at some crocodiles first. Then I went and ate some crocodile at Carnivore. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it was all love, man. I've never had a negative reception by Africans, no matter where I went, whether it was South Africa, Kenya. And once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I think I'll be able to post pictures and stuff. So I'll be able to post more pictures and stuff from my different trips to Africa.
Okay, guys, make sure you hit that like button again. Hit that like button. Jacob Lone Wolf, go ahead, bro.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I want to commend you guys for what you do. I've been watching your content all this time. I think I'm gonna speak from a different perspective. Like I'm a young dude. I'm like 19 years old, and I'm pretty sure you guys in your late 30s. And I feel like the other day when I was listening to Capone, it was like it really inspired like something inside of me. Like even I live for you guys that don't know, I live in Melbourne, Australia, right? And my parents are South Sudanese, so I was born in Melbourne, but I am of South Sudanese descent. So I am an African as well. But my thing is like I feel like the other day when I was listening to Gabon, he was talking about a black nationhood. I think Lou brought that up, and I was thinking, particularly as a young generation like me, I feel like we need to open markets around the world, like in terms of like he was I think he was talking about like a supplier like in Africa. Like I feel like we as Africans should start like supporting everyone around, like the people in like South America, the Caribbeans, people that the diaspora and Africans. I feel like there's a great opportunity now because with what's going on around the world, like with the coronavirus and like the martial law that's happening with a lot of these governments, I feel like part of it, yeah, we don't know if the virus is I don't know if the verse is real or not, but it's like this is what happens when we don't own any infrastructure. I feel like we as people, we're people of power. I think we're people of like great abundance. And I just when I read all like a lot of the things that you guys say, it's like it's common sense, you know. Like I'm on Facebook all the time, and I see these grown folks complaining, but they don't want to do anything about it. And I'm like, just imagine like the type of industries that we could tap into Africa. Like my goal is like I want to start in South Sudan because South Sudan, you know, obviously it's like a new country, and I want to help my fellow country, but I want to help all of Africa. And I feel like there's so much great potentials that can happen, you know. Like obviously during this time, you know, with what's happening with the coronavirus, I feel like what's happening now, I feel like it's going to be a mass exodus in the near coming futures where we're going to own land, you know, in Africa, and where we're going to
Jacob,
control.
Jacob, expand on the Exodus. Like, what do you foresee? Like, expand on that.
I think we were talking about this before. Obviously, you know, I think with what's happening, obviously in America, I'm not there in America with obviously the police shootings and stuff like that. But I don't think it's just the police shootings. I think it's economically as well. You know, a lot of us black people all around the world, you know, no matter where we are, you know, we're at an economic disadvantage. That's because we don't control any industries. You know, particularly here in Melbourne as well. You know, we don't own any industries, unlike the other races, the other groups of people that own industries where they're able to hire their own people. And I'm witnessing this firsthand because all my whole life I've been told, oh, go to school, you know, get a great education, you know, you're gonna become a professional, you're gonna get hired. And I'm like, as I got older, I started to realize I'm 19, right? And I'm like, people, my generation is fucked, man. The millennials, we're fucked. You know, we have to find ways to create opportunity. You know, Brandon. You know, you were saying, you know, you were talking about, you know, basically building Africa up and how we as black people should have power. But I think my generation, like, I feel like we're gonna be like the wars are gonna ignite on what you guys are trying to build, you know, because you know we're trying to create industries. And I think during the past, the old Africans, you know, they weren't as like warrior like, you know, obviously with colonialism. And I think my generation, I think it's up to people like me to build it up, you know, and build industries. Because I think what's killing us is we don't own any industries, you know. Yeah, we may own a few and a couple, but what industries do we control to basically sit at the dinner table with these other groups of people and basically be like, hey, you know, the way you treat us, literally Africa, we as Africans, we have all the natural resources to the point where like if we control our industries in Africa, we can basically say to white folks and other great groups of people like, hey, we're not trading with you, you know, and that would cripple their economy. So I'm like looking at these things and I'm frustrated, you know, I feel your pain, you know, even though I'm a young folk, you know. So yeah.
Dennis.
Go ahead.
Okay, so like, okay, let me make a point right here real quick. Okay, so when I started, I told everybody get your paper, get your pencil and your notepad. Okay, Jacob, where are you from? South Sudan, right?
Yeah, I was born in Melbourne, but my parents are from South Sudan.
Okay, so look, Jacob has just dropped a jewel on y'all. South Sudan is like a new country, so it's developing. That means there are opportunities there that are very inexpensive. And Donis, I'm not going to get on no investment, don't worry. But there are opportunities there. So how many of you who are watching this, who really want to make an impact, who really are trying to figure out what are you going to do to get unstuck and pursue your dream in Africa? How many of you wrote that down? South Sudan, new country, unlimited potential, right? Now, we can, obviously, Dynas allows us to put our emails and stuff in the chat. Now, how many people are like, let me get Jacob's email? So even if he doesn't have an idea that's ready to go right now, he at least can give you an idea of the climate there. So then you can start trying to make connections there with people who he may know or people you might even find on the internet. So you can be a part of the building of that new nation. This is one step towards realizing your dream in Africa. You set one goal and try to reach that. So a lot of people want to go to Africa, but don't know what country they want to go to. South Sudan might be a good start, or at least it might be a good place to make an investment in that is low cost, low risk, and you can do it very easily for your first time. These are the types of people who are truly going to make a difference, not people who just listen to this brother talk. Yeah, 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 that was good. Yeah, this brother's on point. Yeah, this brother's preaching. But the people who are listening right there to what he's saying and figuring out ways to apply it. I'll always say this quote: successful people look for the circumstances that they want. If they cannot find those circumstances, they make them. This is how we make favorable circumstances for ourselves. But you got to not only listen, you got to take notes, then you got to act based on what you hear.
Wait, Brandon, definitely, thanks for, the props, but I have a question for you. Like, with what's going on around the world with this whole coronavirus and these governments basically pushing martial law and taking our liberties and rights away. Like, I just feel like if if what if the coronavirus didn't tell you what's going to happen in the coming decade, then it just goes to show you that we're dumb. Because I feel like this point right here, and I'm living in Melbourne in a comfortable lifestyle, right? But I'm it's pleasurable. It's not comfortable because I'm not content because like it bothers me like where I live at like my people we don't own any industries in the world, and that's why I love that live stream the other day with Dr. Gabon how he was based. No, I think it was Lou Major or Dr. Gabon. They were talking about black nationhood, and I feel like with what's happening around the world, I think we as black people, no matter where you are, I think we should just come together and we should just start building industries and we need to start basically respecting ourselves and basically taking care of ourselves, because we see what's happening, our rights are being taken away. And I just feel like when they talk about how there's freedom in the West, I don't really think so. I think the West is very regulated. They have a lot of these European constructs. And in Africa, I feel like you can just make some shit happen. And I feel like in the coming decade, there's going to be a mass exodus. And I feel like there's going to be a great opportunity for us as Africans to build industries and basically open up the world economy. Like, not only will we be able to control Africa, we'll be able to control Latin America. And basically, you can, basically, this is my plan. Like once I start doing well, like I want to go back to my home country, build any type of industry there, like preferably agriculture, right? And then I could sell that on the open market and sell it back to the black diasporans that live in other countries, and then they could sell that to the people in the communities or other races of people, and you bring that money back within your community and you start building other industries, whether we can build our own military. I'm thinking like in like war terms because we're in a state of war right now. It may not be like bloodshed or anything, but we're technically in war right now. That's how I observe with what's going around the world, and we're on we're on the economic disadvantage when it comes to other groups of people. Even though like we're like people of abundance. We used to be a people of power. When you read the history, it's fascinating, and they don't teach you these things in school. So it's very liberating to hear guys like you and Lou Major and Dr. Cabana and Dinus do the things you do. It really inspires a young man like me to want to create change, even though I may not have all the knowledge and I may not have all the resources. I think, what you guys are doing with this live stream, you don't know how you're impacting young people like me to actually create change and basically help Africa and help black diasporans around the world.
Hey, I wish I thought like you when I was 19.
Yeah,
when I was 19, I was focused on foot. Hey, I was focused on football and all these stupid ass sports. I wish I was where you were at 19. What my advice to you, brother, would be this: find one thing, set one goal. It don't matter if it's just to have pancakes, bacon, and eggs tomorrow for breakfast. Set one goal and go hit that goal. And then set another small goal. You got to get yourself in the habit of setting goals and reaching them, right? Because what happens to us a lot of times, we believe that black people, we believe that, oh, we can walk and chew gum at the et cetera, et cetera. But reality, in order to walk and chew gum at the same time, you have to learn how to do that. In order to pat your head and rub your belly at the same time, you have to practice doing it sometimes. So just like that, Just like those things take practice. Anything you're going to be good at, LeBron James had to practice basketball to be good at it. He couldn't just say, look, man, I could put a ball in a hoop. That's simple. He had to practice it. So just practice setting goals and reaching those goals. Create yourself, like, not even a brand, but just create yourself some reliable sources of communication where you can give people like your email, network with people in your country and people where you are, and even people on the internet, and start just laying that foundation to be able to take advantage of opportunities as they present themselves, because they will come. So that's what I would recommend for you to do. Find something and focus on that. Become obsessed with it. And so that once you do that, in that effort, you will learn how you best find out or receive opportunities and take advantage of those opportunities. But that would be my advice. Everybody in the audience, I see people saying, what's his email, things like that. This is what these YouTube videos are for, to build up that network. A lot of people saying South Sudan is beautiful. It's close to Kenya. It's close to Uganda. This is the information we need to know, so our people can learn how to, instead of people just constantly preaching to them, telling them what they should do, what they should be doing. Oh, y'all need to do this and do that. This is the how-to aspect.
Thank you. Absolutely. I agree. And I think, this is, like what you brought up was a great point, on what, finding out what I'm doing. I think, listen to Fitzgerald and Dinus talk about care bars and basically about the monetary system. That's really inspired me, to pursue that aspect. So I think with me, I've actually found my purpose in life. Thank God, about knowing what real money is, because if you really know what's going around the world, we technically, there's no such thing as real money. We're on currency. Do you know that in 1913 that $100 in 1913 is now worth $3 right now? So when you see people kill each other for literally $100, you're killing somebody for change, like literally change. You're not killing them for like $100 value. It's like a currency. You're killing them for $3. I think the US dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power since 1913. Wow. So I think. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, because that's really inspired me to teach people in my community about what real money is, and real money is gold and silver, and to basically stack up on that, because with where the world's going, I feel like with how these big major central banks are printing money at infinity, how it's devaluing the currency, and inflation is at an all-time high. People don't know that these banks, it's only a matter of time that the dollar's gonna crash, and when that day hits and you didn't listen and stack up on gold and silver, then that was at your loss. So I think with me, I actually found that purpose, Brandon.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that one of my teachers told me. He said, Brandon, a true leader has to always operate as if tomorrow is going to be better than today, right? So one thing no one ever taught me when I was young was that the work validates the beliefs, right? If you are familiar with the Bible says faith without works is dead, right? It doesn't say works without faith is dead. It says you could have faith, but if you don't have work to validate that faith, then the faith it's meaningless. So what I would recommend for you to do as a young person, telling you what nobody ever told me, was this. As opposed to trying to show people what you believe is true, just go and do things based on that belief. And once you come to people like this, like, hey, based on my belief in this is what I did and it worked out for me, then people will believe in that as well. They'll start to understand it better, right? People want to see results. In this life, you only get two things, reasons and results. Results are the only thing that matters. So you can go around and proselytize about the reasons why we should or you're going to, right? But really, people only care about results. So instead of worrying about all the different banks, the gold and all this stuff, Just go out and start working at getting what you want, and be unstoppable, right? Be unstoppable. Look, if the currency today is gold, go get the gold. If the currency today is paper, go get the paper. If the currency today is seashells, go get the seashells. It doesn't matter, because by the time you're done reaching the goal you're going to set for yourself, you're going to have all those things in abundance. So if they switch the currency, it won't even matter, because you got everything. Warren Buffett, this guy, during the COVID-19 situation, I have a friend who works closely with Warren Buffett. He said he was at a meeting with Warren Buffett. He said, Warren Buffett, what do you think about COVID-19? Warren Buffett said, shoot, I love a buyer's market. See, the most successful people among us aren't worried about the things that are going to go wrong. There's a man who says when things go wrong, don't go with them. And sometimes if we get too focused on how wrong things are going, on the hysteria and the fear of everything, we get trapped in that to where we can't focus on anything else. There's a guy who heard about COVID-19 and went and hid in his basement. There's another guy who heard about COVID-19 and went and started making COVID-19 masks. One guy's a millionaire. The other guy's still just scared in his basement. See, these are things, Jacob, we can't control. And this is why I talked about the video I made about the wisdom to know the difference. God grant you the serenity to change the things you can change, accept the things you cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. None of these things do blacks have control over, period. We need to start focusing on building our power so that soon it won't matter what they do with the currency, whether it's gold, silver, dollars, or anything like that. We will be totally, immune, right? We'll have total immunity from whatever they do, because we'll have our own infrastructure set up. And that's the goal we're trying to reach. So don't focus on too much about what's going on with the white man's world. Focus on our stuff. Like I always say, black people need to learn how to mind their own business. Identify what our business is, and then go out and preach about that to the people you come into contact with. Let the white man do what he gonna do, because whatever he do that affect you, it's gonna affect him way more. Because we poor already, just like Lou Major was said on another thing. So just focus on the success, the big things, the positive things. Those negative things will do you no good. Just focus on positivity, brother. And I guarantee you're going to be making leaps and bounds before you know it.
Hey, guys, make sure you hit that like button again. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit the like button, you guys. Black ambassadors, go ahead. Black ambassadors.
He muted.
Yeah,
go ahead, Jacob, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Brandon, for that. I was just basically, thanks for schooling me, on basically taking action. I'm in the process right now. I basically, have basically set up a YouTube channel trying to teach people about that, and absolutely, and I feel like people like me, go ahead. Is that Black Ambassador or what? Okay.
Yeah, but you could go ahead, brother.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying, with me, it wasn't like I was trying to like say all these things to like seem smart, but it's just like it's fascinating with where I come from. It's like I think people have gone through this in life where like once you start to know like what's happening around the world, you like at first, it's like curiosity, and then you go through your red pill stage where like you're frustrated at everything, you're mad at the whole world on why things happen like this and that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think, with me, I'm reaching a point where I'm taking action, and yeah, I'll definitely take your advice for that. I think, sometimes, we get caught up in like what's happening around us. Cause like with me, it's like when I read about like history and I read about all these things, it's like, obviously there's rage, but it's like excitement. Cause like I'm learning something new, and I'm like navigating out of like this like plantation, and out of like, I'm basically becoming like aware and awoken. Like this just feels like the fire inside of me. So I think, that's the message I was trying to get across.
Oh, cool. Black ambassadors.
Yeah. So I just wanted to add, I think Brandon, he talks a lot, but he's not from Turtle Island. So because he's not from Turtle Island, he don't understand. Nah, I'm messing with you, Brandon. But when we talk about stalling and we talk about pursuing the African dream, I think it's just essential that we do ensure that we support those individuals that are going and making their pathway to the continent and to the motherland and providing a lot of information, because there's not a lot of access to information about how to do a lot of things. Americans don't travel, period. If you even look in Brazil, it's very hard to start with. So, some organizations, it's Birthright in Washington, D.C., where they have a program that allows African people of African descent that want to travel back to the continent. You could go ahead and sign up for the Birthright, and they'll take you on a trip to actually Africa. And of course, they help with financing, and of course, they plan the actual administrative and logistics when it comes down to it. So I think that's a perfect avenue for people to get introduced. And of course, once again, we need to promote it. We need to build more. We need to build vehicles for individuals to depart, whether it be on their own dollar and then also with assistance. And once we start collectivizing as men, in particular Black men, and we start working towards that, we can make it happen. So, stalling on a dream, X, Y, and Z. I think we just need to produce more good content focused on more beauty in Africa, focused on more power positions about Africa and showing more of Africa. And once again, like I said, building institutions and making it happen. Other than that, a lot of people just talking, a lot of people are chatty patties, a lot of drama, and we grown ass men, and we just going back and forth, and we just making fun, and we just making jokes. And at the end of the day, we need to be making and paving ways. That's what real men do. Men don't sit around and joke. Men don't sit around and gossip. Men don't sit around and just play around. This is not a game. So we just got to take our work serious. Shouts out to many things that Brandon does. Shouts out to you, of course, Dynast, for doing what you do. People from the ground up. It's possible. Like nobody, think about this. Name anybody else who go to Africa and then are able to actually naturalize themselves in an actually very short time. If I'm right, I don't know how long the process took you, but I'm pretty sure it was way quicker than waiting 15 years.
Right.
So that's showing the possible of what it's done. I think you're probably the only one for a large for it. There's a lot of people who go there and then they're just sitting around, in some type of stalemate where they're not citizens yet or X, Y, and Z. But you were able to hit the ground and make it happen. Think about this, once you did it, let's make a comparison. If Africans came or was forced to come to America and they were enslaved and they fought and worked hard to get their citizenship and become citizens in America, look at what you did. You did that way quicker than what our ancestors took to get their quote unquote citizenship in America. So you showed it was possible. And of course, doing that, and if other people take on the task of doing that, I'm pretty sure you're on the ground working on things to streamline the process too. Just like Black Six, shout out to them. So as many people out here doing work. So I think that's a part of the actual, purpose and mission of seeing a dream. Fuck a dream, man. Let's make shit reality. Like we done past fucking dreams. Let's make shit real. Because you know what I'm saying? If you're dreaming, you're sleeping.
Black Ambassador, those were great points. I want to ask you a question. Like, with what's happening now, obviously, in the world right now, do you feel like, obviously, like I'm from Australia, right? Now in Melbourne, like there's like a big, like there's something called like the state of emergency. So pretty much like we're in lockdown. Do you feel like after this whole coronavirus, that do you reckon that there's gonna be like just like a sheer mass exodus of Black people from wherever they're at and coming back to Africa and literally building industries? Because like my concern is like this is like a clear sign that we need to go back to Africa, and with me, I know I'm going to go back and build my community and try to build in other areas of Africa, but I just feel like we're like at the bottom of the totem pole. Like I think this whole coronavirus has affected a lot of Black people worldwide, and I just feel like this is I'm not talking about the virus. I'm just talking about like the martial law, and I just feel like I think like this is a clear sign that we need to get out of the West, because I feel like the West is like actually a deteriorating empire. Like I feel like Africa is like the fastest growing continent, in the next coming decades. And I just feel like there's going to be so much opportunity for young folks and older folks like you. So, and I'm here like today. I usually don't come on these live streams, but
Yeah.
I'm just specifically asking like you guys questions because I'm trying to like learn about like things that I can do or we can all do as like a Black nation, no matter where you're at.
So I kind of like take it to a position of, let's say that there is a massive amount of people that are actually going to self-initiate the exodus, quote unquote, or also have a desire or a possibility. And then now you have to look at it like a recruiter, right? If something happened during European War I or II or whatever may have happened, Iraq War or whatever, right? They sat back and they were able to plan and plot out. There's going to be people that are going to want to go to war, or they're going to be more likely to go to war or sign up to go to war. And then they're going to actually move and make that happen by what? Focusing on how do they market to these individual groups or these different groups of people to make that desire become a possibility and then make them execute that. So I think as us, it's very vital that when we communicate with a large portion of whether they may be in the diaspora or even Africans in the continent or a part of it, but they're just not there, whatever it may be, we have to market it in many different ways and target many different audiences so they can say, okay, I do have this desire to go to Africa, right? So how do I facilitate it? We got to have people out here showing the how-tos. Then we got to have people out here showing good content of all different types of forms of life, right? Like how is the quality of life and etc. Then we have to have other people out here who's facilitating the deals, making things happen, opening up the actual, what's it called, the political and economic and social mobility for people to execute on those dreams, those wants, those desires, and those actions. So we, as those individuals who know something, we just have to sit down and ask ourselves, how do we make it happen? How do we facilitate it for many different audiences? You dig what I'm saying? So it's not, I take the position, I'm not so big on talking to the individuals that are going back to the continent. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're already going, they already got their plans, good content, like don't wait too long. Don't wait too much for retirement. That's good. And that helps also. But I'm trying to figure out how we convert other people, right? And also going in with the understanding that you're not going to convert everybody. So how do we get them to facilitate an African dream, even staying from where they are? Because that's just real life. Everybody's not going to come, right? As Marcus Garvey said, you don't want everybody to come anyway. So how do we make the ones that are going to come, which is 15, come? And then how are we going to get the ones that don't come to change their actual energy in the way they see the connection with Africa, whether it be on the continent or not, right? Having that African, empire in you, that African or Black nation inside you. So right. We just have to work into how do we get that popping? How do we market it? And how do we get it to our people so they can take it?
Oh, thank you, man. That's that's awesome. Definitely. The other day, I was listening to Lou. That brother's upstanding. And he was talking about what you said about the 15%. They're the ones who control the society, and they're the ones who produce, and the other 85% who are the consumers. And obviously, you don't want everyone to go back to Africa, but like, Dinus, like, what do you see like in the next coming of decades, like what do you see like the industries, like obviously agriculture is a big industry,
right?
Africa, like what do you see, like how can we not just like build Africa up, but like build other areas around the world? Like, do you think that we can go back, like particularly young people like me, we can go back to Africa and basically say like we can go on a farm, right? And let's just say there's wheat, right? In South Sudan, there's obviously great natural resources, just like in Nigeria. Do you feel like what we should do is like basically sell the products to like maybe Black people in another part of the country? Then
yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if you're familiar with how Liberia, as far as how it was founded, but Liberia was pretty much a dumping ground for free Black slaves. So once Liberia was established, there was a huge, I think it was palm oil trade between Liberia and Black Americans who had businesses in North Carolina and South Carolina. And I mean, this was a very, very, very huge industry, and then vice versa. So there were certain goods that weren't found in Liberia that, since Liberians were coming from America, that they wanted, and the Black Americans were shipped to Liberia, and then there were certain goods and products that came from Liberia that they would ship to America for Black Americans to consume, and Black Americans who had their own businesses in North Carolina and South Carolina became very, very rich doing this. So absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great thing that what happened in Liberia, because I just feel like because the other day like that got me pumped, because like obviously you talk about care bars, and I feel like care bars is a great vehicle for me to like build wealth, because the ultimate goal is like I want to definitely help my people out, and also like I definitely want to help people that may not, because everybody's not going to have the luxury to go back to Africa, so you definitely want to help people that may be living in other countries that maybe they don't control certain industries, because with me I think it's all about industries, because I feel like if you don't control industries, you don't have power. Like like in Africa, there's numerous of resources. Maybe we can go to like Africa and like, hey, we can maybe grow like wheat or rice, and then maybe we could refine it, and then we can sell it back to people, in other countries, and we could be the supply chain, and it's not dependent on other groups of people to like stop it, and then they could sell it to the people that look like them or other communities, because at the end of the day, green is like money is green; it doesn't see color. But we want to take the philosophies that the Italians and all these other races do and put money back within our community, and maybe we can build other industries around the world. Not just agriculture, but maybe we can compete with Tesla, because like when you see all these billionaires, there's all these white faces and there's not too many black ones. So I think like with me, I feel like I know I'm talking a lot, I'm talking big, but it's just like I really want to learn these things to like actually build industries and have power. Like that's like the ultimate goal, no matter where you're at.
Absolutely. I guess Brandon fell off. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. And then we'll take one more caller. If you want to call in and ask a question, Uhuru at searchforuhuru.com is the email. Again, Uhuru at searchforuhuru.com is the email. Send me an email and I will forward you the link, and you can call in and state your piece. And if there's anything you want to add, you go ahead and add it. Black Ambassador, anything you want to add to that? Black Ambassador, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here. My bad.
No good.
Yeah, no. So I think the key thing that I would really like for people to focus on is check how the young king just asked questions. He didn't come on here with drawing conclusions. He didn't come in here with everything mapped out.
Right.
It was a conversation of, well, how do we do this? Well, this is how I see it. So how do we? It was more so like a build. It was more so of us working together and using a collective of our thoughts in order to figure it out. It's no different than the lab. If you go inside the lab with your predeposition and you think that you know it all, and then just go in there and try to preach to the periodic table, try to preach to the the mathematics at hand, it's not going to work out quite well for you. Let's arrive at our conclusions. And I think his analysis on just owning industries is very important, to own industries of all types. And this is something that we need to focus on and figure out to harness it. And I think it's vital for us to understand that, people who are on the stream of YouTube and our YouTubers themselves are probably not going to be the ones that lay out the foundings in the works of everything. Elon Musk is like a weirdo. He got no social skills. He can't really talk. And those people who are sometimes like that, they don't really get in front of the cameras. Right. We have to inspire them. We have to have facilities built for them. We have to, inspire people to appreciate people like that want to build and that want to build the African or Afro nation or the Black nation that we see into the future. So once again, I love the build with the young brother and, the question, just being inquisitive about the topic at hand and figuring out how do we make this work as a people and how do we come together from our many different methods. And one of the endo goals, if Dynas had one way and Jacob had one way and Black Ambassador had one way and Pan-Africanism Strikes Back had one way, let's all utilize them and move forward. It's kind of like what I said before, right? Next time they come throwing slave nets, let's not all be standing in the same place. Right. So let's figure out how we can actually make it so that we can, even in our disunity, even in our different methods, still have functional unity and functional cooperation and functional development and functional building. So I think we're getting on that. And of course, if anybody is inspired, man, I will tell my personal story, which is, and I'm not going to go into the whole story, but what I'm saying is that the day I figured out that I am the master of my own destiny, I'm the master of my own identity, I'm the master of my own future, that was the day that my life changed. I learned a lot of things before that. I even heard some history and went into all of that, but it wasn't until the day I decided to do a data dump. And that means just data dumping all the information that I knew before, all the concepts that I had before, and ask myself, what do I want to be and what am I going to be? I'm making a decision now. And then that gave me the actual vehicle to be building a platform with Black Ambassador, to be working with so many YouTubers and work with so many people on the ground and make change in real time, in real life. Intentional destiny. You have to take your own goal into your own hands. And when you find yourself sitting by the campfire, talking about what these folks is doing and how that wasn't right and the Constitution and Declaration of Independence, just stop and ask yourself, what are you doing about it? And then start mapping that out with some like-minded people. What are you doing and what are you going to do? And then start mapping that out with like-minded people. That's the most essential thing, is to do something. Throw a rock or something, but do something and stop stalling. It's kind of like what the great book says. I don't know if everybody read this Bible. It's called Get on Your Ass. Get off your ass and cold call. Get the New Testament.
The New Testament. Yes, sir. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and close out. We'll start with you, Jacob. Anything you'd like to share in closing?
Yeah, I just, it's my first time, talking about, Africa, because, this is like, this is a near dear thing close to my heart, because I think, with the way things are going, obviously, with me, I was just asking a lot of questions because, I was curious because, I think everybody's experience is different. Some people, they realize it when they're older or they realize it when they're young. And I'm pretty sure, Dynasty, you realize it your whole life. You guys, grew up in America where, racism is prevalent. With me, it's not really so much because the population is small. Australia was like, at one point in time, like it was like the Aboriginals and they got exterminated like the Native Americans by the British, and basically destroyed everything. So, with me, I like saw this early on and I was like, because you're taught a lot of these doctrines, like go to school, get a high paying job, pay off your debts, and, help your community. But it's like, how can you help your community if you have a job? And my generation, I already realized that university college is dead. Like, that's dead.
Especially now, yeah.
And like people like me, we have to be creative. We have to find ways to, do like build, on our own. And I feel like, one of your, I think, was it your quote or did you quote someone? You said that we give our best years in the West, but our worst years in Africa.
We give our best years to the West, our worst years to Africa, or we give our best years to the West and retire in Africa, just to retire in Africa.
Yeah, so that alone, that like inspired me and checked me, and I was like, you know what? Why should I build something here in the West when people of my people are not going to reap the benefits of? Why can't I do it in Africa? And yeah, maybe the infrastructure is not all that good in Africa. Maybe we lack some things, but I think it's going to be more satisfying if you build there and you go to war there than in the West, because whether we realize it or not, we're technically in war. Like I feel like what's going on and how we're not in terms of like battle like and bloodshed, but like economically we're at a place worldwide, no matter where you live, we're deprived of certain economic opportunities. But I feel like in Africa, I think that's like the homeland. I think that's where you feel alive and you're around people that look like you and you can start building there. So with me, I've realized, thank God, I've realized this now, listening to you, Dinas, and reading a lot of books about Africa. One of the first books that I read was The Golden Age of the Moors, and that really got me to really look at who we were. ruled Spain for 800 years, you know, Kemet for 6,000 years. So I think with me at a young age right now, I feel like I want to get my best years in Africa and my worst years in the West. So that's all I want to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Black ambassadors, anything you'd like to share in closing?
Yeah, of course, man. You know, the most important, well, not the most important, but some of the things we could just remember. Oh, Brandon's back. Mm-hmm. But yeah, going into this, man, I think it's most important. One of the important things is to realize that the power is in your hands. Right. And you know me, man, I always like to give a quote, so I'm going to keep it short. And it says, quote, Dr. Amos Wilson, we waste a lot of time trying to transform them when by transforming ourselves, they will be transformed automatically. The power is in our hands. We are not destined to be the servants of other folks. That is not the destiny of Black folks. I need you to take that to heart. I need you to understand what that is saying. The destiny is in your hands. So the stalling of an African dream, you have to first dream, and then when you wake up, you have to get to work. You have to put on your pants, brush your teeth, wash your face, and get studying, and then implement the work in which you just analyzed. So the most important part is to understand power is in your hands. So shout outs to Jacob for coming on here. Shout outs to you, Dynas, for once again bringing it into reality, reconnecting the lineage that was probably torn from Africa for over 700 years, reconnecting yourself back with the soil and back with the lineage and back with royalty. I mean, that's a story for the ages. Get off your ass and get your citizenship.
There you go. Go ahead, Brandon. Take us away.
You know, there's a quote, you know.
Take your time. Take your time.
Shut up. But there's this quote that says, it's as hard to find something that you're not looking for or to find something that you don't want as it is to come back from a place that you've never been, right? Mm-hmm. The first thing you have to do to make anything a success is identify what you want, not what your family wants, not what the people on the internet telling you should want. What do you want? Part of being a leader is serving the people and giving them what they want. That's why I've kind of changed my approach a little bit. I don't even preach like, go to Africa, go to Africa, go to Africa. What I do is I just try to motivate people to do whatever it is they want to do. And the people who want to go to Africa will be caught up in those masses, just like the people who don't. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that they want, wherever they are, they need to be motivated to pursue those things. Africa is not for everybody. There's a good number of us who need to stay here so they could keep on funneling money over to Africa, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you go to Africa, that doesn't mean you just have to stay there full time and not do anything else. You can come back and forth. It's your decision. The point that's the most important is do whatever it is you want to do. Whatever goal you have in your mind, start taking the steps to reach that goal no matter what. Identify what it is. Make a plan to reach that goal. We got a lot of goals, but we don't got a lot of plans. Make a plan to reach that goal and immediately start setting smaller goals to hit in your pursuit of reaching your overall goal. The young brother is a good example. He knows he wants to do something. He doesn't know exactly what he wants to do, but he's right now laying plans, speaking to the people who know, speaking to his elders, the older people, right? Mm-hmm. Searching for information that will help making reaching his goal easier, a more smooth, streamlined process. We are from a generation that did not have that opportunity. Our older people just told us, you know what? You want to know what the meaning of life is? Be more like white folks. So now we have to start doing the things in this life that help perpetuate what we want so that those coming after us could look to us for an example. We might not be the generation that realizes the total exodus of Black people from America to Africa, but we can be the generation that got the ball rolling. It's just like the quote I was talking to Dynas about earlier. You don't have to be great to get started, but you definitely have to start you have to get started to be great. Okay, remember that. And it starts with the small things. Success is a bunch of small things done well. Don't ever forget that. The things that you think are insignificant, those will add up and become matters of great importance. I want everybody to take that mindset going forward. People like me and Dynas have already made a pact. We are about to start trying to motivate our people towards success. So, I'll see you guys at the top. I'll see you at the finish line. Just start working. Start the process.
Yes, sir. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Again, go to dynastymirror.com. Again, go to dynastymirror.com. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for who. Peace.